Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to just sit down and play with a bunch of new makeup. I have so much new stuff and it's been driving me nuts because I've been sick for the past couple weeks and I wanted to play with all this, but of course I wasn't feeling well. I didn't want to get my germs on everything. So it's literally been killing me just sitting here with all this new stuff that I really want to review and I just wasn't feeling well. I'm on the mend. I'm still not 100%, but I really want to jump back into things and I really want to try a lot of these products before the Sephora sale so I can decide if I would recommend these to you or if I would tell you to pass. So I have the new Huda Beauty Cream Blush Sticks. Also have the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation, as well as the primer. I have the new Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Powder. This is the pink powder. I picked up the new MAC Stack Mascara everybody's been raving about. And I also have the Dior Backstage Concealer. Just got in the Auric lip balm. And then for lips, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. For eyes, I think I'm gonna play around with this Summer Unrated palette from Nars. So I just want to play around with a bunch of new products, apply them, get my first impressions, see what we think about the products, and then I can kind of keep using them over the next 2 weeks and give you my thoughts for the Sephora VIB sale. Also wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who left a testimonial for the Sephora squad. I really appreciate it. I never really applied because I just didn't have, I guess, the confidence. And then also I felt really bad like asking people to leave testimonials just because I know it's like, you know, time out of your day to just like, you know, put your email in and leave this whole thing. But I really am just shocked and humbled by how many of you took the time, or at how many. I'm shocked and humbled. I can't even think, like my brain is still in a fog. I'm just thankful at how many of you took the time to leave a testimonial. It just means a lot to me. So I will leave the link at the top of my description box. I've had a couple comments and DMs asking where you can leave a testimonial. I did post it on my community tab in Instagram, but I will actually leave a link if you missed it and you would like to leave one. I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for that. If you guys are new here, I hope you subscribe. I do a ton of makeup content. If you enjoy first impressions, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. And let's go ahead and jump into a full face of new makeup. Usually I start out with an eye look, but I really wanted to apply this new product from Auric. So this is the newest launch from Samantha Rabindahl's brand Auric, and this packaging is so beautiful. I haven't even opened this or anything. So this is what it looks like, the presentation. So essentially it is a lip balm, and then you have this little applicator, which I think is really cute. Now I will be honest, I prefer a lip balm that I don't have to put my finger in or use an applicator, solely because I'm lazy, okay? I will lose the applicator, I won't clean it, like I'm that girl. So honestly, I don't know how much I would use the applicator. I probably just would be like, whatever, I'll use my finger if I really love it. But she did explain in her video why they didn't put it in a stick. So there is reasons for that. I think the presentation is beautiful. I'm a lazy girl, you know? So this is the Plush Ritual Ceramide Lip Treatment in the color Bare. Now this is supposed to be just like a very sheer lip tint. The packaging is gorgeous. Comes in the same packaging as her eye cream duos that had like I can't remember what they're called, but they had the cream shadow and then they had the glitter top. And then when you lift this up, instead of having the glitter shadow, you could put this little baby spatula in here. I mean, it's so cute and it's really aesthetically pleasing. So I see where they were going with it. And here is the actual balm. Okay, so it smells really almost like a MAC lipstick, like soft vanilla, like a yummy MAC lipstick. Very soft though. I mean, it is super freaking cute. And I'm going to apply. Feels really nice. Ooh, has a nice shine to it. Feels very, very comforting on the lips. And I like that it really is glossy too. It's one of the reasons I really like the Too Faced pillow balms, because the watermelon has like a little bit of a tint and it just looks really nice on the lips. It kind of coats your lips. This is a different texture than the pillow balms. I would say this is more hydrating than the Laneige. I don't know how to describe it. I like it. My first impression is I really like the way it feels. and I'll continue to use it and keep you guys updated. So now I want to move into an eye look. I really didn't know what to use. I have a couple palettes, but since I'm really focusing on skin today, I thought I would do something more natural on the eyes. So this is a new palette from Nars. It's called the Summer Unrated. It has this really beautiful packaging, and this has quite a few shades in it. It's very neutral with kind of like pinky tones. I have not really found a Nars eyeshadow palette or like formula that stood out to me like crazy, but I will have to say that I haven't tried a ton. I think I'm going to start out with this shade up here, although I do feel like these are all like right in this area, kind of like light. Like we could have omitted one of these and one of these, but you know, it is what it is. There's a lot of shades in here. So I'm gonna start out with this like light pinky shade and put this in the crease. Okay, definitely more pigmented on the eye. I wasn't expecting that much color payoff, but not a bad thing by any means. I've had a pretty rough March. I don't really know what happened, but I had some health issues. I have a deficiency, so I have to go get blood work done and figure out what's going on. I stopped a supplement that I'd been taking for a while because I was so just desperate to figure out what was causing my acne. My acne has just been so bad lately. Like just, it's really like painful and killing my, honestly, my confidence. Like I just was so desperate. So I was like eliminating things that I'd been taking. By doing that, I really messed myself up and I was really sick. And then after speaking to my doctor, they were like, oh my God, you have a deficiency. Like you can't just stop taking that. So I have to go get like a full blood work done for my hormones and all my vitamin levels and all that stuff. So I was not feeling well with that. I had a horrible breakout, horrible. You can see like all these scars, like this is all from March. And then, so obviously stopping the vitamin that I did nothing because I broke out even worse. And then I actually got sick about 10 days ago with like a horrible sickness, and then Ian caught it, of course. So Ian's been off work all week, 5 days. He started feeling sick on Sunday. It is now Saturday, and he's still not better, or not completely healed. I'm not completely over it yet. I am starting to feel better, but I'm on day 10. So yes, I don't know what's going on, but like March has just been rough for me. I don't know, it's just like one thing after another. It's kind of like that saying, when it rains, it pours. So hopefully I'm on the mend now. I also finally, after the painful breakouts I was going through, I started on Spiro. It's for women in hormonal acne. Interestingly, I was prescribed Spiro years ago when I went to a dermatologist because of my acne, and I was afraid to take it because I was just like, you know, I already take antidepressants. I don't want to add another medication on, like maybe it'll just calm down. But it did in fact not calm down. It's literally gotten worse, and it was just so painful. And honestly, just killing my self-esteem, like for filming. And I think also putting like makeup on top of like really, really active breakouts just feels like wrong. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just, it was killing my mood. It's so weird because growing up, I didn't have acne. I used to like literally sleep in my makeup, party, like just, you know, what people do when they're, you know, 18, 20, whatever. And my acne really started ramping right around 30, but it's like getting worse. So I'm only, I want to say like a week and a half in on Spiro, and I'm really like hoping, I know it can take time, like a lot of time. I just felt so, I don't know, bad about myself. And I know it's just like acne, but coming on camera with a bunch of acne just made me feel bad about myself. And then also it was just painful. Like it was hurting. Like I would wash my face with like the lightest pressure and my entire chin was just like so painful. I'm gonna jump into this shade right here and just sort of blend over top to kind of smooth out what I just applied. And it's just really sad because, you know, when I had clear skin, I guess you never really think about it. Like when you have clear skin and you get like a tiny little pimple here and there, you don't really think about it. You know, you're just like, you know, a pimple's annoying regardless, but then you really start sympathizing, you know, with people that really struggle. And I know there's people that had like way worse acne than I did, and I literally can't even imagine because it just takes such a toll on the way you feel physically and just about yourself. And it just makes you thankful for the times when your skin was clear. So it's just been like, ugh, finally I've had enough, you know? So Gonna try this out and hopefully I get some success with it. On another note, Roscoe is growing like a weed. He is 27 pounds now. And he finally got his last parvo shots so we can walk him. So we've been sick, so we haven't walked him as much as we'd like to, but we've walked him I think twice now, and he's just like, just kind of taking it all in, like all the sounds and everything. He has no clue what's going on. It's really cute. Okay, I'm gonna jump back into the palette. I think I'm just gonna take a little bit of this shade right here, and I just wanna deepen like a tiny bit. I always say I'm gonna do something like really light, and then I just always go too far. Why do I do that? I don't know. There's something about being on camera, I just feel like I have to do the most. And I think I've talked about this before, and I don't know why my brain just like won't let me chill out, because like in normal life, I wouldn't feel the need to like do a smoky eye or whatever every time. But I feel like if I'm reviewing a palette and I only use a couple shades, I feel like I'm not reviewing it right. But sometimes I just need to like chill out. I don't need to like, I don't know, spend like an hour on my eyeshadow every time. I don't know, you know, like see like this little patching, not patching, but I just feel like this isn't the easiest formula to like blend. Nars in general. Not that I don't like it, but I don't know. I just haven't ever found a Nars palette that performed so good that it like blew me away. So I think I'm gonna jump into this shade right here and apply this to my lid. Looks really pigmented. Pretty powdery formula. NASCAR Teddy's been out there, you know, just living his best. Oh my gosh, I wanna move. So bad. Just because my filming room is so small and people are just maniacs. They just drive like freaking maniacs. And it's the room that I film in right now is right by the road. And so people just drive me insane. I used to live in a cul-de-sac and I never realized how nice that was until I'm not in a cul-de-sac, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed that. So yeah, like this shimmer right here, like it's just kind of like, it's almost giving me like REM Beauty vibes. Like it's so powdery that it's not really doing anything. I'm gonna try to take a little bit of this shade, which looks like a different formula. This is like that really intense. I mean, this is pretty. But here I was saying I'm not gonna do a lot on my eyes. I have literally issues. I just can't. I don't know what's wrong with me every single time. I just wet a brush and I'm taking a little bit of that first shade, hopefully just to like blend it together. I went ahead and applied a little bit of liner. I used the Mad Max Brown from KVD, and I'm gonna go back into the palette and use the deepest shade here. And I just want to blend out the outer portion. So I'm sort of like smudging, but even though the KVD really won't smudge, you could also use just like a crayon or pencil type liner. So I'm going over it pretty heavily, and then I just take another brush and sort of blend. So next I want to use this new mascara from MAC. This is the MAC Stack mascara. So I saw this on TikTok. A lot of people were raving about it. So I picked up the mini just to try. I feel like there's different versions, which kind of confused me, but I tried this the other day and I really was impressed. This is what the wand looks like. It is one of those wands that sort of like pricks you in the eye, if you will, but it really gave me a lot of length. So I want to keep testing this out. Yeah, it's definitely one of those that's like really hitting your eye. So that is one coat, which is pretty intense. And I think the other thing people were saying about this is you could continue to build it. I don't think I would build it beyond 2 coats just because I don't really do that with any mascaras. This is what 2 coats looks like. I'm pretty impressed with it, to be honest. If you're on the fence, maybe just grab a mini like I did. I went ahead and curled my lashes after, but you can really see that my lashes have nice length and volume. So I really like that mascara. I'm going to jump off quickly, just put some magnetic lashes on really to amp my eyes up, and then we'll start in on the Complexion products. To be honest, I really am not loving my eye look, but it is what it is. I feel like every time I don't do a winged liner, I don't like my eyes, and I don't know why. I just feel like it completes it for me. But let's move on to the face. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream. Just use this as a moisturizer, and then I want to go in and start playing with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation and Primer. Okay, so let's start off with the Yummy Skin Glow Serum. So there's two different shades here. We have Juice Boost, which is a little bit more of a bronzy shade. And then we have Main Squeeze, which is a little bit more like peachy. To be honest, they really are clear, essentially, when you put them on. So you're not gonna see a difference. This is the lighter tone, but once you blend it out, I mean, it's really just a glowy primer. So they basically say this is a skincare infused radiant priming serum that hydrates, preps, and protects skin for a radiant glow, and it is good for dryness, pores, uneven tone. Not sure how this would be good for pores, but we're gonna test this out. So I'm just gonna take a little bit. It comes in a squeezy tube like this, which I don't mind. And I'm going to probably put this on the high points of my face just because I am combo skin. So for me, I wouldn't want to put this like in my T-zone. It has a nice fragrance, but it does have fragrance and it almost smells like cologne, like men's cologne sort of. But it's not like sticky or tacky or heavy. It's quite thin. And then even when I'm looking at my skin, I'm not really seeing a ton of glow. It's not crazy emollient. It almost feels like there's a little bit of like a silicone in there. You can see like the remnants on my hands. It's really not overly glowy. I guess I was sort of expecting maybe something like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, but basically clear. But even just looking at my skin, like there's a little bit of radiance, but it's really not heavy, which is interesting because I feel like a lot of Danessa Myricks products are extremely dewy, hydrating, you know, almost to the point where I can't wear them. This one doesn't feel that way. I'm interested to see if I can tell sort of like a glow or radiance with the foundation on top. So for my T-zone, I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. I always use a pore smoothing primer in my T-zone. This has become holy grail for me. I just love the formula on this. I don't know what it is, but it's so lightweight, but it also just smooths and gives me oil control. If you have combo skin or oily skin, I think you would love the Hourglass primer. If you have dry skin, I would only use it in areas that you want to smooth your pores. All right, so now let's jump in to the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation. So I actually got an email way before this launched asking if I wanted to be one of the first people to try it. Of course, I was like, yes, got it in PR, and then I was sick. So I missed the boat. I feel really bad about it because I had these things like before they were even announced. But this is supposed to be a skincare hybrid foundation with medium buildable coverage that creates a natural looking skin-like glow. It has a radiant finish. So there's 26 shades in this range, and I was sent 6N and 7N. I thought the shades were a little bit hard to choose. Looking at the models, they just look different on the models, and I'm not a huge fan of the packaging. So it is refillable, but the thing I don't like about it is the squeezy top. I would have preferred a pump. Now I know, you know, it's refillable, so I get it, but I feel like this is gonna get quite messy. This is what 6N looks like. And then right here is 7N. So these are both supposed to be neutral. 6N is supposed to be light skin with neutral undertones. 7N is described as light to medium skin with neutral undertones. So I do feel like 7N is leaning quite a bit more neutral. This one's going more yellow. I'm gonna go in with 7N today, but the refillable part of this, just in case you were interested, you squeeze this off, or twist this off, and then you can buy the refill. So I understand the concept. I just feel like it's pretty messy, the squeeze tube, like it's just oozing out right now, which is not something I'm, you know, loving. I'm gonna start out with a brush on this side. This is the Huda GSN 05. And I want to start, okay, it feels like skincare immediately. Ooh, there's a scent it's pretty strong. It's like spa-like. I do agree a little goes a long way just from using that little bit. It's very interesting. Like when it touches the skin, it feels quite thick and skincare-like. Like you almost have to like really work it in and really making a little bit sort of spread out. So this is what the foundation looks like with the brush. I want to try with a beauty sponge, although I don't know how it's going to go. If you can see, like it's really, look at that. Like it's thick and it spreads. Like you have to work to really get it spread out. I don't know how to describe it. So this is what the foundation is looking like. I do think it's really pretty. It is interesting because a little goes a long way, but it's very like skincare hydrating, almost like a similar feel to the LYS Beauty or the Mucosis. You can just tell there's skincare in there. It feels a little heavy. I think just for me, because again, I have combo skin, I do tend to prefer matte foundations. I think the shade looks nice. It looks like a nice neutral. I just feel like the shades are hard to choose online. So now I want to move on to this Dior concealer. This is the Dior Backstage Concealer. I got 2N. This is interesting because the applicator has a brush on it, which I think is really kind of unique, but really how practical is it? Is it gonna get like gunky and frayed when you keep putting it back in? So this is interesting. They're claiming this is caffeine infused, a radiant finish, full coverage concealer. Usually when it's radiant, it's not full coverage. So we will be the judge of that. So as I said, I got 2N, which I feel like is gonna be a good shade. When I just put the brush back in, I didn't have any fraying or anything like that, so maybe it won't get messy. I love this packaging and the Dior Backstage line. I've just found so many favorites. So let's go ahead and blend this out. I want to see if I'm going to get full coverage. It looks hydrating, which is my preference as of recently. I feel like my under eyes just keep getting drier. So this is what it looks like blended out. Super easy. I would say coverage is pretty good. I would say medium, probably buildable. I feel like for me to get rid of like that blueness under my eye, I have to do some sort of like correcting. So this is what the concealer looks like. I feel like it's nice and hydrating, super easy to blend out. I would say coverage is good. I mean, I'm not noticing, you know, like crazy full, but I feel like it's medium buildable. But I want to see how this sets. I have a new powder that I'm a little nervous about. So I ride or die for my Huda Beauty powder and pound cake, but they came out with a new one called Cherry Blossom Cake, which has a pink tint. Now they did send this to me in PR, and I'm a little nervous just because I typically do not bake, but I like to apply quite a bit of powder in my T-zone. So I want to try this out just how I would normally use. Obviously, because it's pink, it's not going to be like full pigment, but I just wonder if it's gonna make me look a little bit weird just because like my concealer is more of like a neutral, you know, yellow tone, whereas this is pink. I don't know, a lot of people have been loving it on TikTok, so we're just gonna try it out. So I have this on and I got my creases out on this side, and I'm just going to press this in how I normally would. The Huda powder is just ride or die. I mean, look at the smoothness. Look at the texture, like it is unreal. So I can definitely see it, and I'm curious to see if you guys do as well. There's like a little bit of a pink sort of tone. I don't think it looks bad. It's just a little different. I usually go for like a light, you know, beige or a yellow powder. So you can really see how much it's smoothed, but it's interesting. This side of my face, I feel like looks more yellow toned. And then there's like a subtle pink tone on this side, which I don't dislike, I'm just not used to it. For the rest of my face, I'm gonna try my Fenty Beauty powder that I use quite a bit. This is something that I use usually like on the perimeter of my face. Okay, I'm seeing like patching. Ooh, that's weird, maybe not. So it's definitely, the foundation is a little bit finicky with powder. So I went ahead and applied my bronzer, and I used my typical bronzers, and I just feel like it's patchy. I'm noticing like patching up here, patching with this. Really, this is an issue that I kind of run into a lot of times with these really hydrating foundations, even with a lot of powder. You saw how much powder I used. They just like don't set down. Like they just won't set down. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like they're still tacky. So it's almost like you're forced to use all cream products with it, which I like to use, you know, powder bronzer and stuff like that. So I feel like I just have a hard time blending. I'm just seeing patching. I had to work really hard to blend this out. I'm seeing patching up here. And it's just one of those things that I feel like my face is still like sticky or tacky even after setting it. I had the same issue with like the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. Just so incredibly emollient. It just won't set down. And then when I put powders over it, it patches. So probably not going to be a favorite of mine. I'll keep trying it out, but I just want to finish off the eyes quickly. I'm going to go into this palette. I'm going to go into this really warm shade and just take a small brush and connect with that outer kind of portion. And then underneath that, I'm just gonna take this shade right here with a pencil brush and just sort of smoke it out a little bit. And then for the inner corner, I'm just gonna take a little bit of that light champagne shade just to brighten up the inner portion of the eye. Okay, so even though I'm not loving my base, I am excited to use the new Huda Beauty. These are the Cheeky Tint Blush Sticks. So I received these in PR. I did an Instagram reel and swatched them. I tried this pink shade the other day over powder and it was really beautiful, super dewy, and it applied just fine over powder when I used my sponge. So today I think I want to try out maybe these two shades just because I feel like they go with what I'm wearing. I am a little concerned though just because I'm already having patching, but for me it's really important that a cream blush can go over powder just because I like the versatility and most can, so I really want to test that out. So this is the shade Perky Peach. I'll just swatch this for you. So they're really dewy, but they're a thin texture and they have a little bit, I guess like shimmer in them, but it's not chunky glitter. So I'm gonna start out with this shade and I'm just gonna use the bottom of my sponge, and I always like to take it off of my hand, or you can also take it off of the product. These were not, or the pink one that I tried wasn't crazy overly pigmented to where I felt like, oh my gosh, like nothing like the Rare Beauty, but they were quite dewy but felt lightweight. So I feel like if you have dry skin or you like a really dewy blush, I think you would really like these. So this is like one layer of the Perky Peach, which is the lightest shade. Can you see that glow though? And it doesn't feel heavy. Like it definitely has a tack to it, but it's not super heavy. Again, I hate to reference, but Danessa Myricks, her lip and cheek palettes, super beautiful, but they just transfer so badly and they just get patchy. Like anything touches your cheek and it moves. And I didn't have that experience with these. So I built that up pretty heavily. So this is Perky Peach. And I want to go in next and add a little bit of this really bright shade called Coral Cutie. So this is what it looks like. I mean, you can just see like the glow that they give, but they don't enhance texture. So I'm going in back here with that Coral Cutie. And you can see what that does. So it really just adds more of a pop. So this is what the two shades look like from Huda Beauty. They really are a beautiful formula. I know a lot of people were saying they didn't like the packaging, and I do agree. It doesn't really look or feel luxe, but the formula is quite unique. I mean, it's like pretty dewy without giving you, I guess, all of that heavy feel. And even this pink one that I used the other day, I mean, let's just apply some. Why not? Because I'm crazy. This pink one, it looks pretty like shimmery, but not on the face. It just like gives you this glow. So I know a lot of people were not loving the packaging, but the formula on these, I mean, this is going over powder and it just looks super dewy. I mean, I think it's beautiful. So, you know, these are a yes for me. So I want to go ahead and finish off with lips. I just wiped off that Auric lip balm. It really was nice. It felt nice and comfortable. Interested to keep giving it a try. I mean, I don't know if anything is going to beat my Too Faced, but you never know. So I want to go in with my Makeup by Mario lip liner in Travis. For lipstick, I did pick up the entire new Hindash collection. I will be reviewing that next. That's definitely on my list. I have it right here. So I thought I would try this today. This is the lipstick in Call Me Peaches. I haven't even really touched these or anything. This is super peachy, like orange. I feel like when I've seen a lot of people apply this, it just looked quite harsh. So I'm going to just kind of tap it very lightly, like right in the center. It almost just really pulls a little too orange. even just using a tiny bit, I just don't know if it's like the most flattering on my skin tone. I just feel like it almost gives me like fall peachy vibes. Like it's just that burnt kind of peach. I want to try and lighten this up, but also try this new formula. This is the I Need a Rose lip gloss in Peony from Natasha Denona. I picked this up when this launched. It's like a light baby pink. Sometimes mixing different tones somehow works. Ooh, that's a strange scent. It's like vanilla, but like a little chemical-y. Yeah, I much prefer with the gloss, but you know, I'm a pink gloss lover. All right, guys, so this was the look I came up with today, and I have to say I'm not loving it. I feel like we had some hits, and then we had some really bad misses. Most of the time, when I don't like my foundation, it kind of ruins everything. So let's just kind of go through the products, starting out with the Auric Plush Ritual Lip Treatment. I really like it, as I said. I feel like it's a little bouge. It's one of those that you can really treat yourself, but it felt really good on the lips, so I'll have to keep trying it out. I think it's beautiful packaging, not as practical as for a lazy girl like me just throwing on a lip balm that has like a doe foot, but I think it's beautiful. It's something if you want to treat yourself, and I like the scent, I like the feel of the lip gloss, or the lip balm. So I'll have to use this over time and kind of see if it really hydrates my lips and how I like it compared to my Holy Grail Too Faced. Moving on to the Nars palette, I think it's okay, but I'm just not wowed. And I don't know what it is about Nars eyeshadows that I've tried. I feel like the color story is pretty. The mattes were pigmented, had a little bit of grabbing, but again, it could just be, you know, my issue. What I don't really love is how powdery some of these shimmers are, and it almost feels like you really do need to wet them, or you need like a glitter glue to get them to adhere. So it's just not my like go-to favorite formula. I think the packaging is beautiful, but this isn't like a palette that is really standing out to me. So far, I'm really liking the MAC mascara. A lot of people are raving about it. I feel like it really does give you length. You can build it up, but I wouldn't go too crazy just because I feel like then I get that clumpy sort of spider look. But this is something I'm glad I purchased. If you're interested in trying it, just grab a mini like I did because I'm really liking it so far. Now here's where things get a little sticky. So the Danessa Myricks products. I have always wanted to just love all of her products, and I feel like my skin type is just so incredibly just like oily combo acne. Her products are really geared towards dry skin, people that love really emollient cream products. So I want to keep testing out the glow serum with maybe like a matte foundation or foundations that I enjoy, because I feel like this might be a good, you know, serum hydrator to give you a little bit of radiance. I don't mind the way that, you know, like my forehead looks, but for me, what I really don't love is the Yummy Skin foundation. Now, of course, this is my first impression. It just, again, has that really thick skincare feel. If you have dry skin, you probably would love this. If you enjoy like the Sephora Best Skin Ever, the LYS Beauty Foundation, the new Kosas, this is very similar to those in the way that it feels. I would say this has more coverage though, which is interesting. It's very pigmented, a little goes a long way. For me, it just feels heavy and having that patchiness that I can't set down. So when I put powders on top, it just makes it difficult to blend, and I just, you know, feel like I have patching, and I don't love that. It's just one of those that even if I like bake my entire face, it still is tacky. So I'll continue to try this out, but I even used my Hourglass primer, which has like oil control in it, and I still feel like I'm already just getting a little bit glowy and textured. So I really do feel like this foundation and a lot of her products are just really geared towards dry skin. First impression on the Dior Backstage Concealers, I actually really like the packaging. It's very sleek, it feels nice in the hand, and I don't find that the brush is sort of fraying all over. I thought this was really hydrating, thin formula, but gave me nice coverage. I'm interested to keep trying this, especially with foundations that I like, but first impression on this is good. I'm excited to keep trying it. Not sure if I'm loving the Huda Beauty in the pink color. Here's the problem. I feel like when I use this, it did give me sort of like a pink tint, which obviously it does have a pink tint to it, But then when I put my bronzer on, I almost felt like it was clashing. Like I had cool tone pink, but then I put this bronzer on and it looked really orange, and it usually doesn't. I do feel like if you enjoy like pink under eye correctors or even pink leaning concealers, you probably would really like this. For me, it's just a little bit weird because I typically go for like a light yellow concealer. So putting this on top was almost like taking the yellow tone to pink, and then I felt like everything was kind of thrown off. But again, I have really warm tones on my eyes too. It could be that. So I will keep trying it, but I still think I'm going to be ride or die for the Pound Cake shade. My favorite product from this video has to be the Huda Beauty Cheeky Blush Tints. I think these are gorgeous. I know the packaging is not the most luxe, but I really like the shade range and I love the formula. It's so light and thin, but it gives you a glow. It almost looks like, and you guys can tell me down below, I powdered my entire face and my face was matte because I powdered it. And then when I applied this on top, it almost looks like I'm wearing a full face of cream products, and I'm not. I literally just applied this blush. Of course, I did apply 3 colors and I went crazy. So it is quite dewy because I really did, you know, amp it up. But I would say that these are gorgeous. They go over powder. So if they go over powder that easily, they're gonna go over an unset face. My favorite would still have to be that pink shade, but these were beautiful as well. I would say if I had to choose 2, the pink and the coral will probably be my most used. And then lastly, the Hindash lipstick. I like the formula. I feel like it's one of those soft matte, very, very pigmented. I just wish this shade was maybe not so like orange toned. It's very, very like fall burnt terracotta orange. And I've seen it on a lot of different creators, and I have to say, I just felt like it looked a little off. I didn't know how it was gonna work on me, and I still felt like it just looked just a little too orange. I would have liked to see more of like, I don't know, just less orange in it. But again, I mean, he's an artist and all of his photos and everything look gorgeous. I've just seen a lot of people review this, the entire collection, and it felt like the tones weren't as flattering on a lot of people, including myself. So I would like to see different colors in this. I did pick up the other shade and I'll try it in another video, but this shade is just, I don't know, something about it just pulls a little bit too orange for me. And then finally, I really like the color of this Natasha Denona gloss. Feels very comfortable. It's not sticky at all. And I feel like it has a good amount of pigment. I like the doe foot. It does have like a funky scent. At first I was like, ooh, like vanilla. And then I was like, ooh, chemicals. So it's kind of like vanilla with chemicals sprinkled in, which is not, you know, obviously ideal. I like the packaging on it. Maybe I just got one that had a little bit of a funky scent. It's not like anything I'm tasting or ruining anything, but I did notice it. Let me know if you picked up these glosses, if you noticed that as well. But overall, I like it. I'm happy to have it. All right, so that is everything for this trying new makeup. Not my favorite, but I do have some products in here that I'm excited to keep testing. Anytime I really don't like my base, it just throws everything off. So this is the reality of trying new makeup videos, but I hope you guys enjoyed seeing these products tested out. I will link all the products down below that I used today. Do let me know your thoughts if you're interested in any of these, if you want to see me, you know, demo these again, or if there's something that you tried and you were like, I hate it or I love it. I love to chat in the comments. If you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.